Hey, how's it going? This is Daniel Bushes. I am going to cover today drive theory. Let's get started. For those of you who are just joining this for the first time, I'll give you a real quick intro and then we'll jump right in. My name is Daniel Bushes. I own a consulting agency. I'm an Infusionsoft certified partner, a digital marketer certified partner, and I focus on helping small business owners grow their businesses with the core of it being automation and digital marketing, automation specifically being with Infusionsoft. So that being said, let's get into drive theory. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got a blog post here, and if you're seeing this video, hopefully you've come over to my blog and you've actually read the blog post first. If you haven't, I'd strongly encourage you to go to danielbushes.com/blog and then click on the blog post for Gain More Sales by Marketing to Your Customers Using Psychology. Read this through. This is going to go really in depth into the specifics of drive theory. And then after that, hopefully watch this video because I'm going to get into the actual campaign build out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover over a little bit of drive theory. It should be less than 3 minutes, and then we'll get right into the actual campaign and how you're going to utilize that for your own marketing to your own database. So drive theory specifically is designed to find the core motivators and the foundation of why your customers are doing something. Specifically being what's the pain point, and then what's the drive factor that's behind that is the reason why they want to solve that problem or that pain point. So I'll give you just a real quick example. So say someone goes to a gym and they say, oh, I want six-pack abs. And okay, so the fitness trainer says, okay, we can definitely do that. Why do you want six-pack abs? And the gentleman says, oh, I want all the pretty girls at the beach to notice me. Okay, well, that's the drive. The drive isn't that he wants six-pack abs because he wants six-pack abs because, he thinks he's going to look great. His whole drive, his own motivation is specifically because he wants to get the attention of the pretty girls at the beach. That being said, there's another proponent that we're going to add to that, and that additional thing is going to be what's the threshold of that customer's pain. So some people can withstand more pain, some people cannot. And so what you need to also figure out is what's the level of their pain, and the higher the amount of level of their pain and the lower of the threshold of the pain, so the less that they can tolerate, means they're going to act. They're going to not only be motivated, but they're going to want to act, and they're going to want to act immediately. And why that's important for you is if someone says, oh, they go to we're using this example as a gym. So if someone walks into a gym and says, hey, I want six-pack abs, and, the gym owner says, okay, great. Well, when can we get started? If that gentleman, if the potential customer, if that gentleman, his pain point is not that high, then he might say, oh, I'd like to do it within 6 months. If his pain point is really high and he says, oh, summer is in 30 days, I need to do this right now, then his pain point is very high and he's going to act. So that's very important for you to figure out where that level of pain point is, because that's going to also dictate for you as a business owner the people you're going to want to go after first, the tire kickers who maybe want to do something but it's not really that important, i.e. that translates to it's not that painful yet. And then the people that maybe are 90 days out and 6 months out. And what that'll do for you is that'll actually give you a pipeline. Excuse me. And that pipeline, what it's going to do is it's going to specifically tell you what the customer's pains are, what their motivators are to overcome those pains, and how painful it is, so you know who you should focus on first, what you should talk to them about, how you should present your solution or your product that is going to be in line with solving that problem, specifically talking to what's motivating them, and then ultimately then knowing who to go after, like I said, go after first. So I cover all of that kind of detail within this blog post. So I encourage you, if you haven't already done so, to go ahead and read it. And that being said, let's jump into the campaign. So I'm going to increase my screen size here so you guys can see this well. Bear with me. I'm just going to increase this. Okay. Hopefully you can see that now. So there's a couple things I did here. By the way, do not get overwhelmed with this. This is actually a really simple campaign I built out. It looks kind of crazy, but it's actually not. So it starts right here with the psychological drivers email sequence. So basically what this is when I open this up, this is one email. That's it. And so what you'll want to do is you'll create an email that is going to go under the cover of an ask, right? So I'm sure you've heard it before. If you follow me, you've heard it from me. I had a New Year's blog post tutorial that said, what's the one thing I can do if I'm going to help you grow your business or help you do whatever, right? That you would do and you would launch out to your customers, right? You'd launch that campaign saying, what's the one thing we can do this year to help you grow your business, help you lose weight, help you, get better sleep, whatever. And so we're going to kind of use that strategy of an ask of we want to help, but really what your question is going to be focused on is it's going to be focused on identifying the pain point, but masked as how can I help you, okay? Now, this entire campaign I've built out, it's actually functional, and a lot of people in the past have asked if I can actually drop these campaigns into their Infusionsoft accounts. So this is going to be the first time that I'm actually going to make that available. So if this is something that at the end of the tutorial you like, you can actually, I'll actually be able to get it to you into your application, and then you can just make some copy changes, and it's ready to rock and roll. So anyways, so this is the one email, and so I'm not going to read the whole thing for you because I tend to write a lot. My emails are always a little bit wordy. So basically, what it does is it starts out with, saying with a quote, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." And then I just go in and I say, whenever you look at the greatest men and women, they're the ones who have taken action. The people that are rewarded are those that do. And I noticed something, and what I noticed is I never asked you personally, how can I help you? And so I'm sorry. And the reason why I wrote I'm sorry is because in the subject line, to get their attention, I say, I owe you an apology, but first I have to say this, right? Well, I don't know about you, but if someone sent me an email and that was the subject line, I would say, okay, I'm for sure going to read this email. I'm kind of intrigued. I want to know what you have to say, and I want to know why you're apologizing to me. So that's why I use that. And of course, you got to loop that back in so it makes sense. So I do so right there. And then I go in and I say, okay, so, I want to ask you a question. But before, what I do here is I get them into a state, okay? And so I say, as an executive coach, I know that most goals and dreams are blocked by one thing. Yes, just one. It's that one obstacle that needs to be removed, and then everything else aligns. So please take a moment and do this right now. I want you to imagine, to envision what your success looks like. What is it that you're doing? What do you have? What's your biggest accomplishment? How does that feel? Now come back to me and let's be grounded for a moment. You're in the now. You're in the current state. There's something preventing you from getting to your success you just imagined. This one thing outshines any other issues that is preventing you from reaching your success. What is that one thing preventing you from obtaining your success? And then I say, please click the response. And so here's the four pain points. The reason why I've done that is I can't just let them answer whatever, right? I have to guide this. And the way that the campaign has been built out is it's based off the foundations of these core things, which is I don't have the tools, I don't have the time, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the money. And you could actually boil it down to two things, but really for me, I wanted to get granular at this level and really have it customized. So it's based off of the four. Tools, time, money, knowledge. Okay, so if they click on any of these links, by the way, they get tagged, and they're going to get tagged for the corresponding thing. And when they get tagged, this link, by the way, when they click on it, is just going to take them to a thank you page that says, thanks, I'm going to work on a solution. Excuse me. So we send out the database, this email. Hopefully they click on the link, whichever one of these links, and then they're going to get tagged based off of that thing. Now, when they get tagged, The thank you page and all that is actually this web form. And so what I have here is I've got lacks time, lacks tools, lacks knowledge, and lacks money. So those are the 4 things, right? And so when we click into here, I'm just going to use lacks time. Okay, so it says, let's get you more time. Well, we know they clicked on that they lack time. So it starts off with, let's solve this problem for you. And it starts with you answering these 3 questions. What's your biggest challenge? What's the solution to that challenge? Please rate how important resolving this obstacle is for you. Extremely important. That means this is going to indicate a hot buyer, right? Important. This is 90 days. So what we're doing right now is we're actually building out your sales pipeline for you. Somewhat important over the next 6 months. Not very important, right? These are the tire kickers. So by them saying to you, okay, well, I lack time. All right, so I've just segmented you as someone who lacks time. And your biggest challenge is, and you're going to write it in, this custom field, it's going to go into your contact record and save. And then the solution is this, right? So just as an example, hey, I lack time. My biggest challenge is I don't have enough time in order to exercise frequently. And the solution to that challenge is me getting 6-pack abs and having the time to properly exercise. And this is extremely important, or this is kind of important, right? So that's kind of, this is kind of how this has been designed. Okay, and so when they answer and fill that out, this is going to automate for you and then tag, so you're going to know your leads, the people that are ready to buy, the people that need to buy in 90 days, 6 months, and 1 year. By the way, there's one more question on the back of this. Excuse me. And it's the driver, and as in the drive theory. And it says right here, which statement do you most agree with? I deserve to reach the next level of success after all the work, effort, and struggles. I need to reach the next level of success because if I do not, my competitors will and I'll be left behind. The next one is, I need to reach the level of success because I want more freedom to enjoy my life and my favorite hobbies. And the final one is, I must reach the next level of success because I need to pay my bills and feed myself and my family. So what do these things kind of sound like to you, right? So let me show you what they are. There we go. Okay. So these are the drive factors right here. So avoid pain, I deserve to succeed, seek pleasure or freedom, fear of being left behind, right? So that's what these drive factors are. So they're going to fill out this. They're going to say, I lack time, lack tools, lack knowledge, lack money. They're going to indicate how, they're going to specifically tell us what it is, what their problem is, what they envision their solution as, right? They're going to tell us how painful is the pain threshold, which is going to indicate our sales pipeline for us. And then also we're going to ask them one more question. So this is actually linked to this. So they fill this out and then this takes them over here. And so then we're going to know their drive factor. Okay, so we're going to know their lack of resources. We're going to know their drive factor, which is also their motivation, and we're going to know the pain threshold, so how quickly they're willing to move and act on that. And by the way, also, the pain threshold also sometimes, not always, but sometimes can indicate how expensive or how much you can charge for something, right? So I'm sure you've had your car broke down somewhere, and in the past, or you've got a repairman that shows up and it's like, oh, it's on the weekend. Well, this is going to be double the rate, right? And you need it done. It's a very high pain point, and so you begrudgingly do it. And so they know that it's a high level of pain, and they can charge you for more money, right? So, okay. So all of this stuff right here, what this is these are just tags. So if they say they lack time, they're getting this tag from this email back here. If you remember that one email that said, please choose one thing that, is your pain point. Well, when they do so, they're going to get tagged over here. And so for the lack of resources, and what I've done in each of these is if I click on one of these campaign sequences, okay, so it's going to fire off an email, but it's also going to fill in a field value. And the field value right here is something that I wrote in. This is a custom field, by the way, right? And so it's your lack of time. Okay. And then I'll just show you one more. So lacks knowledge. It says right here, what I put in for the field value is you not having the, well, that shouldn't, hold on a minute. Okay, there we go. You not having the proper knowledge. And so what I've done is I've created a custom field for the lack of resources. Okay, so that's a custom field I created in Infusionsoft, and that's literally named lack of resources. I also created a custom field, which is the drive factor or the pain point. And so what I'm doing is when they come over here and they click on this and they say, hey, you know, I lack time, they get tagged as such, and then the campaign fills out in their custom field a little blurb. So what I'm doing here is this is actually kind of like Mad Libs. So when I've got an email written out, which is going to be in the pitch down here, which I will get to, all my emails are designed as like Mad Libs. And if you remember what Mad Libs are, it'll have a sentence with a blank line, and then you fill in that sentence, right? And so this is what we're doing with the custom fields, right? So if someone says that they lack money, the custom field is going to fill out your lack of financial resources. And so what we're going to be doing, and the way I've designed this whole campaign is actually going to fill in the blank for your sales pitch, which I think is kind of cool. And I designed it specifically this way. So regardless of your business, you can pretty much use this campaign and just change out the custom fields by filling out the field values here. And you can write whatever you want for your things, right? Okay. And I did the same thing down here for the drive factor. And you'll notice for the drive factor, I've got a little bit longer of a sentence here, but it says you want to avoid the pain of failure so you can provide for yourself and your loved ones, right? And the final thing I did here is I built in a key. And so I know what my set field values are for each topic under lack of resources and the drive factor. Okay, so that's what all this stuff is doing. And then the final thing is that it's going to come down to the pitch. Now, what I'll do is I'll show you the pitch. So, excuse me. So the pitch gets into gain, fear, logic, and scarcity. So what's happening is we ask the database a question. We send them an email saying, hey, we want to help you. Can you answer this question? The question is really focused on a pain point. They answer that question. We send them an email and we say, hey, we've done some research and can you please provide a little bit more details? They do so. They fill out that web form. The web form then says, can you state it in your terms? Can you say how painful it is? And so the system is basically building, segmenting, and adding in field values, all for the reason that this whole thing is going to be automated and it's going to fire out the door. And so day one, the email that's going to come out after they filled out the web forms and said what their pain points and all those things are is right here. So it says results. Here's your quick plan to avoid failure, right? And so you'll see here, so I said, thanks for being patient while I developed a custom solution for you that is going to eliminate, and then here's my custom field, lack of resources because drive factor. You told me your biggest challenge is right here. This is a custom merge field, what they wrote in themselves, right? So if someone says to you, my biggest challenge is, getting six-pack abs, right? So the sentence would say to them, you told me your biggest challenge is getting six-pack abs. I'm confident I can help you gain control and achieve success. You and I both know that, again, merge field. So this is all the stuff they told us. So what I've designed this as is basically this is restating to them what they told us. So then they're in agreement that we understand their problem and they're in agreement that this is their problem, right? And so as simple as this campaign really kind of is on the basic level, from a psychological standpoint, it's pretty deep because we're using a multitude of factors and sequences to basically fire off things to get them to relate, get them to shake their head yes, get them to understand and think that we know their issues, which of course we do because they told us. and then restating that thing so they're in agreement that yes, this is exactly this. And then we are going to be the authority and expert to solve that problem for them. And so everything in the wording and the language you'll notice that I write in here is all playing off of psychological. I think you'll agree with me that the solution to this starts today with a decision of commitment. I'm committed to helping you, and I need you committed to your success. I believe, again, the merge field, right, that they put in, and together we are going to do this today. Click here to take action for your own success. Now, I'm not a psychologist by any means, so maybe someone who's watching this is a psychologist, and they can provide even more interesting feedback. But these are the things that I've just learned over time as a marketer and from checking out other things, and it seems to work very well. So again, so all of these right here are merge fields that we've used, and just restating, it goes back to the web form that they're filling out, right? So they're telling us when you're seeing those merge fields and you're wondering what those things are, these are things right here. These are all merge fields. What's your biggest challenge? And they're going to write it in there, and then we're going to in turn embed that in the email and say, you told me that your biggest challenge was whatever they wrote in there, and you said that the solution you wanted was this, and you said this was really important, and so I'm committed to getting this done with you. Let's do this. And you said that you lack time or you lack tools. You said that you deserve to have this. And so these are all the things that are merge fields that we have merged in this copy that's down here in this pitch. It's all automated. Everything fills in the blanks for you. So it's kind of brilliant that they're answering questions for you to automate a sales pitch to them. Kind of cool. Okay, so this is the gain, and then day 2 we go into logic, right? So day one is gain. It's all about look at all the great things you're going to gain from doing this, and here's this custom solution. You told me the problem, and here's all these things that you're going to gain from actually taking the action to do this. Day 2 is a little bit shorter, and day 2 goes off of logic, right? Yesterday I shared a custom developed, well-thought plan that is going to move you in the direction of success. Right? The plan is proven, it works, and it is going to eliminate, again, using merge fields that they've told us because of merge fields, which is right here, because of their drive factor of why they want to do it. So it just makes sense for you to do this. Wouldn't you agree with this statement? Click here and let's attack this challenge together. So all the language, all the vocabulary and everything that I'm using, the way I'm designing this is painting a picture, and it's driving off of that topic of we're using logic today, and we're also going off of all the response and all the things that they said. So we're continually using their words and their issues and re-embedding that into the campaign sequence, and then using different factors to basically drive them to action. You'll even notice the subject line says a rational plan to ensure your success. On day 3, we're going to use fear. And for day 3, I've written in just a little bit of copy there, and it says answers. Why do more people fail than succeed, right? So we're hitting on the fear factor for them. So I start off with a bold thing. The majority of people fail at their attempts of reaching their goals, their dreams, and their career ambitions. Doesn't make me feel good writing this, and I'm sure it doesn't make you feel good reading it, but it's true. Why does this happen? The answer is simple. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So say here, I'm worried that you are not going to reach your goals and ambitions, right? This is kind of heavy stuff, right? Together, you and I developed a plan for your success, yet you have not taken action. What is wrong? Do you have a question? Are you questioning yourself? Don't let your fears get in the way with making progress. So again, so we're using the drive factor. We're embedding these fields again that they've filled out for us. We're really targeting on all of their pain points that they've told us. So 3 days in, if for any reason they still haven't taken action from the engagement we've done with them, then day 4 is the scarcity. And this is basically, hey, this is about to close, right? And so, merge field, contact, first name. Do you know what today is? Today is the last day I'm going to talk to you about helping you succeed. This, by the way, is straight out of a playbook from Digital Marketer and Ryan Deiss, just so you know. So it's credit to them for this copy, for their Gain Fear Logic right here. right? So Ryan Dice talks about saying, hey, he uses an example with his wife and taking out the trash, right? And so I just basically use that as some inspiration for this copy, right? Saying, this is the last day I'm going to talk to you about helping you succeed. I offered you help and you responded. I asked you what your goals were and you told me what you wanted to overcome and improve. I developed a custom solution for you and then you didn't take action. So today is the last day I'm going to talk to you about helping you. Either you'll show that you are invested in your success by clicking this link and buy the solution for your success, or you won't. You told me, again, merge fields. I then developed a solution for you. You and I both know, okay, this is our merge field right here, right? Like, you lack time is a major issue because, whatever they said here, I deserve to succeed, right? And so click here and let's get started together. I think you'll also agree with me that the solution starts today with a decision of commitment. So click here and let's take action because today is your last chance. So again, this is all sample copy. You're welcome to use it if you want. So I just put that in there for you guys to see that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn this whole thing on. I'll have an opt-in box right here that I'll drop in there. So you can actually go in and you can run through the entire sequence and see how it runs and how it works. By the way, if you do so, of course, you're going to get added to my email list. I only email once a month, and it's always with value add tutorials. So if you don't want to get emails, then just watch the video and then you can recreate this yourself, or you can opt in and you can actually see the whole sequence as it runs. That being said, so that's pretty much the build out of this whole thing. I know I've moved kind of quickly on it, but the blog post has a lot of copy, goes into all the strategy for this, and really when it comes down to it, just to recap, we're going to ask them one question. And so the recap here is you're going to send one email out into your entire database posing as a question of that you want to help them, right? And hopefully you honestly really do want to help them, right? So we're not trying to defraud anyone at all. You really do want to help someone. And so whatever your business might be, maybe you're an accountant or fitness trainer, or you're someone like me that's a marketing consultant, helps small business owners, whatever it is. So you're asking, hey, I want to help you. So if I want to help you and you want help, answer this one question for me. And so again, this is going to take them to a web form. It's going to tag them. And after it tags them and segments the database, then what we're going to do is we're going to fire off that other email that was over here. And I have a second one here in case they don't respond after we send the email. But just as a recap, just show you this. Okay, and so it says, I lack the time to succeed, because we're assuming if they clicked on that link that said they lack the time to succeed, and that's exactly what they're lacking. So it says, I appreciate your response, respect your honesty. I have some good news for you. You're not alone. I hear this all the time. Let's not waste any more time doing so. Click this link. They click on that link. That link takes them, excuse me, to the web form. These are the web forms right here where they're going to actually tell us their answer specifically in their own words. I think my internet's running a little bit slow. There we go. Okay, so what's your biggest challenge? What's your solution? How important? What's your pain threshold, which is really what this is. They click on that, and after they submit, what it really does is it takes them to one more question, which is the drive factor. I don't know why my computer's running so slow, probably because I've got so many windows open. Okay, and it says, so which statement do you most agree with? So they're going to tell us right there what their drive motivator is. I need to reach the next level of success because my competitors will and I'll be left behind. So they've got a fear of being left behind. Right here, they want to pursue pleasure and see more and have more freedom to do so. Over here, I need to pay my bills and feed myself and my family. So that's a survival. I need to survive, right? And over right here is I deserve this, right? I've struggled and I deserve this. So this is really all this is this is tagging them, telling us what their drive factor is. And so when they do so, and again, as a recap, when they do those things, we're setting field values and we're filling all that stuff out, kind of like a Mad Libs. And then when it goes into the pitch process, which is down here to pitch the solution, that's where all those merge fields start to come into play, and we start to actually use their words. I don't want to say use their words against them because that's not really it, but we're going to use their words and our solution to them, right? And if you ever listen to any sales training, they always say restate the problem to the customer. If the customer says, I need to do this because of this, then you in turn say, so I understand you have this problem and you want to do this in order to solve it, and I can help you, right? So this is exactly what we're doing. And this is why you're seeing all these merge fields right here, okay? And of course, the end result is for them to buy your product. And then so that pitch process goes through gain, logic, fear, and scarcity, right? Gain, as the digital marketer says it, gain, fear, logic, right? GFL. You can do that any which way you want, in my opinion. And that's basically it. And if they purchase it, awesome, right? Good. And if they don't, that's okay too. You've already basically segmented your database, and you know right here from your leads who's hot and who's cold. And by the way, in these campaigns right here, what I just did is I created tasks. So then you know, right? And so if you have a sales rep or Salesforce, you can say, anyone who comes in here and does all this, and of course those are all merge fields, so they're all embedded in the customer's record. You could say to your Salesforce, call all these people that are ready to buy now. I want you to call them first thing Monday morning, and I want you to get on the phone with them, and I want you to recite like, okay, hey, you said you want to do this, and you said this problem, and we can absolutely help you. And then in the pipeline, you know that you need to reach out to these guys. These guys are ready to buy in 90 days. And so that's going to also segment your database. So that's the other really cool thing about this entire sequence is it's going to get the answers, and it's going to get the problems, the pain points, and it's going to build out your entire segmented pipeline for you. So you know how to sell to them. You know what the solution is, so how you can use your product or your service as the solution based off of their drive factor and their motivator. And then, of course, how quickly, who are the people you should call first and who are the people you should call last. Okay, I know this was a short video. Hopefully, we covered a good amount. By the way, I put into this campaign here, down here, what you're seeing is this text is some copy that's about motivation, learning, belief, and perception. I got this off the web. I did not write this myself, but I thought it was a really good explanation of different pain points, right, of learning, behavior, belief, perception, and motivation. So I just added that as a bonus. And I think that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions by any means, don't hesitate to leave a comment, and I'll be more than happy to respond. If you like it, great. Hopefully you'll share it. Make sure if you want to have any more information, sign up for the email list that I have sending out tutorials every month. And I'm going to make this available for purchase if you actually want to download and have this entire campaign done for you. I'm going to have that probably on the blog post link too. All right. Thanks so much. I hope you have a great day, and take care.